Have you ever wondered why some souls seem to carry the entire universe in their eyes? Why certain people feel like both a dream and a memory, like they've been here before, and somehow they remember? What if I told you that among all the celestial signs, one holds the purest, deepest, and most magnetic energy of them all? An energy so strong it cannot be contained, only felt, only known, only lived. That sign is Pisces. Pisces is not just a constellation. It is a frequency, a spiritual current that flows through the hidden layers of existence. When the world grows loud, Pisces whispers. When chaos rises, Pisces feels. And when everything falls apart, Pisces still believes. Because faith is not a concept to Pisces. It is their nature. They are the dreamers who see with their hearts, the empaths who heal through love, the mystics who remind us that the invisible is more real than what we touch. They are not afraid of the unseen. They live there. They belong there. There's a reason the Zodiac ends with Pisces. They are the completion of a cosmic cycle, the merging of everything that came before into one soul that remembers the light in every shadow. They are the last chapter before the rebirth, the bridge between what was and what will be. When you stand before a Pisces, you are not meeting a person. You are meeting the reflection of eternity. But here's a truth that most never hear. The energy of Pisces is not only beautiful, it is powerful beyond comprehension. It can bend realities, heal wounds that logic cannot explain, and awaken something ancient inside anyone who comes near. That is why today, we are not just talking about astrology. We are entering a sacred space where faith becomes vibration, emotion becomes language, and love becomes light. You are about to discover 5 divine signs that reveal why Pisces holds the strongest energy in the entire zodiac. And I promise you, the 5th one will change the way you see your own soul forever. So, breathe deeply. Let your heart open like the tide returning home. And as you listen, feel not just with your mind, but with the part of you that is always known. Because this message is not just about Pisces. It's about the part of you that remembers the ocean too. If something inside you is already resonating, if you feel that sacred pull in your chest, leave a comment right now that says, "I remember who I am." Have you ever stood beside someone and felt their sadness before they spoke a word? Have you ever looked into another person's eyes and known exactly what they were feeling even when they tried to hide it? That's not imagination. That's resonance. That is the Piscean current flowing through the unseen field that connects every soul. Pisces does not simply feel emotions, they become them. Their energy moves like an ocean, silent, deep, and unstoppable. Where others build walls to protect themselves, Pisces dissolves those walls with compassion. They do not ask, "What are you feeling?" They already know. It is as if their heart was designed by the universe to translate energy into understanding. When someone near them is hurting, they do not need an explanation. They absorb the vibration, transform it, and send it back as love. That is the first sign of Pisces' incredible power. Empathy as a divine frequency. You see, empathy for Pisces is not weakness, it is their superpower. They are the spiritual healers who walk among us quietly, carrying the emotions of those who cannot carry them alone. They sense energy shifts before anyone else notices. They can walk into a room and instantly know who is angry, who is tired, who is pretending to smile. And still, they stay open. They remain gentle. Because their spirit remembers what so many have forgotten, that everyone is made of the same light. Pisces does not see separation. They see mirrors reflecting the same divine ocean back at them. When a Pisces feels pain, it is not just their own. It is the echo of collective emotion moving through them, humanity's tears, the quiet ache of the world. the pulse of compassion that never ends. They are the emotional translators of the universe, taking chaos and turning it into calm, taking despair and turning it into art. There is a quiet holiness in that, a sacred task carried out through love alone. It is why Pisces energy feels so ancient, so soft, yet so powerful. It is the echo of the Creator's empathy, flowing through human form. Think about it. When others shut down to protect themselves, Pisces opens wider. When others fear pain, Pisces walks straight into it, not out of recklessness, but out of faith. They know that to feel deeply is to live truthfully, that to touch another heart is to touch God itself. Their compassion is not pity, it is understanding. It is divine memory. It is the awareness that every soul is fighting a silent battle, and kindness is the only language that truly heals. So, the first mark of Pisces' strongest energy is this: they carry the emotions of the world without losing their light. They are the ocean that never runs dry, the silent listener when no one else can hear, the spiritual heartbeat of humanity itself. When the world grows numb, Pisces reminds it to feel again. Because feeling is not weakness. Feeling is sacred strength, and Pisces was born to remember that truth. There is something almost otherworldly about the way Pisces understands life. They don't just learn from experience, they remember it. Even things they have never lived, even emotions that belong to other times, other lives, other souls. It's as if their spirit carries the memory of everything the universe has ever known. You see, Pisces is the 12th sign of the Zodiac, the last chapter of a long cosmic book. And because they come last, they carry within them the wisdom of every sign that came before. From Aries, they inherited courage. From Taurus, stability. From Gemini, curiosity. From Cancer, compassion. From Leo, strength. From Virgo, the power to heal. From Libra, balance. From Scorpio, depth. From Sagittarius, hope. From Capricorn, endurance. From Aquarius, the vision of freedom. And then there is Pisces, the soul, that unites all these lessons into one great ocean of knowing. It is no wonder that Pisces feels like an old soul, even when they are young. They are born with ancient eyes, as if they've seen the rise and fall of countless worlds and still choose to love again. They carry the collective story of humanity in their heart. They understand loss without needing to experience it. They understand joy without needing to chase it. Because deep down, they already know how it all feels. Their energy reaches beyond the present moment. It stretches backward and forward, flowing through past and future, connecting every part of existence. They are the thread that ties together what was, what is, and what will be. Have you ever met someone who seems to know exactly what you need before you say a word? That is Pisces remembering something your soul once told theirs. They are not guessing, they are remembering. They walk through this life with the quiet certainty that nothing is ever truly lost. Everything, even pain, is transformed into light eventually. Pisces energy is the keeper of that faith. They know that endings are only beginnings disguised as silence, that death is only the soul-changing form, that time is not a straight line, but a spiral, and Pisces stands at its center. When a Pisces dreams, it is not just imagination, it is communication with the unseen. Their dreams are messages, fragments of memory rising from the deep sea of consciousness. They often wake with visions, feelings, or sudden understanding that cannot be explained because they are not meant to be explained. They are meant to be felt. That is why logic often fails to describe Pisces. Their knowing comes from beyond thought. It comes from the universe itself, whispering through intuition. They live in the sacred intersection between heaven and earth, where memory becomes prophecy and faith becomes clarity. So the second sign of Pisces' powerful energy is this: they carry the memory of the universe. They are the bridge between what humanity has forgotten and what it longs to remember. They remind us that knowledge is not always learned. Sometimes it is awakened. Pisces walks through life not as a wanderer lost in dreams, but as a traveler who has already seen the destination and knows it is made of light. They are the reminder that we have all been here before, that every soul is connected, and that love, the oldest energy of all, never forgets. Have you ever had a moment when you just knew something before it happened? Maybe you sensed that a friend was about to call, or you felt someone's sadness even when they were smiling. That moment of pure knowing, that is the frequency Pisces lives in every day. For Pisces, intuition is not a rare spark. It is the very air they breathe. They move through the world guided by invisible threads, soft impressions, sudden feelings, quiet voices that seem to come from beyond time. They do not need evidence to understand truth. They feel it. Their spirit is like a finely tuned instrument, picking up vibrations that others cannot perceive. This sensitivity is not a coincidence. It is a sacred gift. Pisces was born with a heart that listens to both the seen and the unseen. Their intuition flows not from their mind, but from their soul, a direct line to the divine current that moves through all things. When you speak to a Pisces, notice how they pause before answering. It is not hesitation, it is alignment. They are tuning themselves to the energy behind your words, listening not to what you say, but to what your spirit is whispering. They feel the story that your heart is trying to tell, even if your voice stays silent. Their intuition allows them to mirror others, to reflect back emotions and truths that people are often afraid to face. That is why being around a Pisces can feel disarming. Their presence makes you see yourself more clearly. They do not expose you with judgment. They awaken you with understanding. But with this divine gift comes a challenge, a sacred test of self. Because when you can feel everything, how do you know which emotions are truly yours? Pisces often walks the fine edge between empathy and exhaustion, between knowing and absorbing. It takes them years, sometimes lifetimes, to learn the balance between compassion and protection. They must learn the difference between being open and being unguarded. They must learn to create boundaries not out of fear, but out of love, the love that says, I will not lose myself while helping you find yourself. So many Pisces souls go through a period of confusion in their lives. They feel everything so deeply that they drown in emotion, believing they must heal everyone they touch. But eventually, something miraculous happens. They awaken to a higher understanding, that their intuition is not meant to carry the pain of others, but to transform it through awareness. Once they learn this, their energy becomes unstoppable. They no longer react, they radiate. They no longer absorb, they illuminate. Their intuition becomes a mirror of light that shows others their own divine truth. That is what makes Pisces' third sign of power so extraordinary. They are the intuitive mirror of the universe. They reflect what is unseen, translate what is unspoken, and remind humanity that truth does not always need words. Through their presence, they awaken faith in what cannot be explained. A Pisces does not need to prove anything. Their intuition is the proof. They are the living reminder that the universe always speaks, but only those who are willing to feel will ever hear it. There is something miraculous about the way Pisces heals. They do not heal through medicine, logic, or control. They heal through energy, through love, through presence. When you are near them, your heart begins to slow down, your spirit starts to breathe again, and suddenly, you remember that peace still exists in this world. Pisces has a light that cannot be dimmed, no matter how dark the world becomes. It is not a light of noise or attention. It is a quiet flame that burns with grace. They bring comfort without even trying. Their very existence reminds others that hope is real, that beauty can rise again from brokenness. This is the fourth sign of their power. Pisces heals through compassion, not because they want to fix others, but because their very energy realigns those who have forgotten how to love themselves. They are the ones who can sit beside someone in silence and somehow say everything that needs to be said. They are the ones who forgive when no one else can, not because they are naive, but because they understand that forgiveness is freedom. Pisces does not heal through force, they heal through surrender. They allow divine energy to move through them, touching what human hands cannot reach. To Pisces, love is not a concept. It is a force of transformation. It is the bridge that turns pain into wisdom, darkness into understanding, and endings into beginnings. Every Pisces soul carries a spiritual mission, even if they do not realize it. They are born to bring balance to chaos, to remind others that light always returns. When the world is cold, Pisces warms it with empathy. When the world is cruel, Pisces answers with grace. And when the world forgets how to dream, Pisces dreams for everyone until faith returns. Their healing power comes from faith itself, the unshakable belief that no matter how lost we feel, the universe still holds us, gently, endlessly. They do not preach this truth. They live it. Every smile, every tear, every act of kindness becomes a form of prayer. Pisces knows that pain has purpose. They have walked through heartbreak, confusion, and loss. Yet each time, they rise softer, not harder. They rise with more compassion, not less, because they have discovered something most never do, that light does not fight darkness, it transforms it. Their forgiveness is not weakness, it is spiritual mastery. When a Pisces forgives, the energy around them changes. It is as if the air becomes lighter, as if time pauses, as if heaven itself leans closer to listen. They understand what many have forgotten, that healing begins when we stop resisting what hurts and start blessing it. Pisces does not run away from pain. They embrace it until it turns into understanding. They do not try to erase the past. They turn it into music, poetry, prayer. They transmute suffering into beauty, as if the universe itself speaks through their heart. And that is why people are drawn to them, without knowing why. They sense the light, the safety, the quiet peace that Pisces carries like a sacred aura. So the fourth sign of Pisces' divine strength is this: they are the healers of the Zodiac, not by effort, but by essence. Not by trying to change the world, but by becoming the vibration that inspires it to change. Pisces reminds humanity that healing is not found in resistance, it is found in surrender. To heal is to trust again, to love again, to believe again. And that is exactly what Pisces does. They awaken faith in those who have forgotten how to feel it. There is a moment in every spiritual journey when everything that once felt separate begins to dissolve. The lines between you and the world blur, the borders between heart and heaven fade, and what remains is a single truth: everything is connected. Pisces lives in that truth. They are the embodiment of divine unity. This is the fifth and most powerful sign of Pisces energy, the return to oneness. While others chase identity, Pisces remembers essence. They understand that strength is not found in control, but in surrender. They do not force their path, they flow with it. They do not resist change, they become it. To be Pisces is to remember what the soul knew before it was born, that we are all pieces of one vast consciousness, dreaming itself into form. They do not just believe in connection, they are connection. When Pisces walks through the world, their presence feels like a tide, moving through everything. They remind us, without words, that love is not something we search for, it is something we return to. Their spirit carries the soft rhythm of the universe, the quiet assurance that no matter how far we drift, the ocean always takes us home. There is a sacred humility in that. Pisces does not claim ownership of their wisdom or their gifts. They understand that they are simply a vessel for divine energy to move through a mirror through which the universe sees itself. You can feel this truth in the way Pisces loves. Their love is not conditional or transactional. It is infinite, almost otherworldly. When they love, they do not just love you as a person, they love the divine light within you. They see your pain, your past, your potential, and they hold all of it as sacred. And this love transforms. It softens the hardest hearts. It mends the unseen fractures in the soul. It turns fear into faith and loneliness into understanding. Pisces does not teach with words, they teach through vibration. Their energy reminds people of what they truly are: light disguised as form. Pisces is not afraid to dissolve into the whole, because they know that in the dissolution, they are finally free. They understand that what many call endings are simply returns, the spirit moving from one form of love to another. When Pisces lets go, they are not giving up, they are going home. Their surrender is sacred. It is not weakness, it is wisdom. They know that water never resists the current, it becomes it. And that is how Pisces lives, flowing through existence with faith that the current always leads to light. So this fifth sign, this highest frequency of Pisces energy, is a divine reminder. They are the ocean remembering itself. They are both the drop and the wave, the silence and the song, the beginning and the return. Through them, the universe experiences its own reflection, infinite, loving, whole. Pisces is proof that the greatest power does not come from holding on, but from letting go. They teach us that surrender is not the end of strength, it is the doorway to eternal peace. They are the soul that whispers to the world, we were never separate, and we never will be. There comes a moment in every journey when words fall away, and only truth remains. And in that silence, in that sacred stillness, you begin to feel what Pisces has always known, that your soul is not a fragment of the universe, but the universe itself, experiencing its own reflection through you. That everything you have ever loved, lost, feared, or dreamed was never separate from you. It was always part of the same divine current, flowing through every breath, every heartbeat, every star. Pisces stands as the final sign for a reason. They are the bridge between endings and beginnings, between the physical and the spiritual, between the human and the divine. They remind us that even in our greatest pain, there is purpose. Even in our deepest confusion, there is guidance. Because what we call uncertainty, Pisces calls faith. They do not need to see the entire ocean to trust that it will lead them home. The world often teaches us that power is loud, that strength is sharp, that victory is something to chase. But Pisces whispers a different truth: real power is peace. Real strength is softness. And victory is the quiet courage to love, even after the world has forgotten how. Their energy teaches that the highest form of evolution is compassion, that true faith is not found in temples or words, but in the way we treat one another. Every act of kindness ripples outward through eternity. Every prayer whispered in love reshapes the universe. Pisces energy shows us that the divine is not distant, it lives inside us, breathing through every choice we make. If you have ever felt too sensitive for this world, remember this: sensitivity is not a flaw, it is spiritual awareness. It means your soul is awake. It means you were born to bring light into places that have forgotten how to see. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are strong for refusing to become numb. The world needs more hearts like yours, hearts that dare to feel, hearts that dare to forgive, hearts that dare to keep loving no matter what. And maybe that is the greatest gift Pisces offers to humanity, the reminder that love is not something we earn, it is something we are. They teach us that healing begins when we stop fighting the flow and start trusting it. That every storm, every loss, every unanswered question is part of a divine rhythm guiding us back to wholeness. To live with Piscean energy is to move through life like water, adapting, cleansing, transforming, and reflecting the light, even when surrounded by darkness. It is to see the sacred in the ordinary, the eternal in the temporary, the infinite in the small. It is to live in grace, to breathe in trust, and to walk as love itself. So take this moment, this stillness, and let it remind you of who you are. You are not just a being passing through time, you are time itself unfolding. You are not lost, you are being carried. You are not searching for meaning, you are the meaning. The energy of Pisces flows through you every time you forgive when you could stay angry, every time you choose empathy over pride, every time you hold space for someone's pain without judgment. That is the divine returning to itself. That is the universe remembering its heart through you. So, as we close this journey, take with you the essence of Pisces, the courage to feel, the grace to forgive, the strength to surrender, and the faith to trust the unseen. Because even when life feels uncertain, the current of love beneath it never stops flowing. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that every wave that once frightened you was actually carrying you home. Thank you for allowing this message to reach your heart, for opening yourself to something deeper than explanation, to something eternal. If this voice, this story, this ocean of understanding has touched your spirit, then let that energy move forward. Let it shape your next breath, your next choice, your next act of love. And when you're ready to keep exploring the mysteries of the soul, the stars, and the sacred light within you, stay with us. Watch the other videos on this channel. Each one is a new door, a new vibration, a new reflection of the same divine truth that you carry inside. Until we meet again, may your spirit stay soft, may your faith stay strong, and may you always remember, you are the ocean, you are the light, and you are already everything you seek.